Managing a small team or business comes with a unique set of challenges. With limited resources and manpower, it's easy for things to feel chaotic and out of your control. How can you, as a leader, accomplish your goals while keeping your team engaged, effective, and accountable? This podcast will give you practical strategies you can implement now to lead your team or business to reach its fullest potential. Welcome to the Organizing Chaos podcast with your host, Danny Coleman.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Organizing Chaos, where we find small practical strategies for small teams and small businesses. So today is going to be a quick one, and it's going to be tool related. This is a tool that I know a lot of small businesses do not know about, and I want to share it with you today. So the best way for you to really get an understanding of this tool is to check it out. And it's called Fiverr. That's Fiverr. And the best way, or the way that I oftentimes describe it to people, is it's essentially like the five and dime or like a dollar store for very specific types of tasks. So instead of having your team do everything required to run your business in-house, there are certain things that you can outsource to niche specific people who regularly do this type of task over and over and over again. So as such, they become very, very good at it, and they can also offer it at a price that is very reasonable, and oftentimes is usually less than what you would pay an employee in-house to do something. So I'm going to use a couple of examples up here today just to kind of give you an idea, and get your brain thinking about some of the things that you may be able to outsource that you've previously thought was something that you had to be doing in-house. So the first things that I'll mention and the reasons that I oftentimes use Fiverr myself is for marketing related stuff. So you may not feel very tech savvy when it comes to building websites, or maybe putting like social media pictures together, like adding type to a picture or making it look pretty or whatever. Maybe even putting together flyers or direct mail pieces. You may not have the tools for that and or the expertise or perhaps even the time. Marketing related stuff is all over the place on Fiverr, and honestly everything. I can't think of anything I've ever gone to Fiverr to try to outsource that I wasn't able to find some people for. So I will say this, there is a caveat to Fiverr. Fiverr there's a wide breadth of quality. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you use Amazon or not. I do. I use it a lot. And I always, whenever I'm searching for something, I do 4 stars and above. And because I'm a Prime member, it's got to be Prime eligible. So I kind of put these tighter constrictions on my search, so that I'm getting the results that I'm getting at are more than likely going to be the results I'm looking for. Just because when you have something like Amazon or Fiverr, and there's a lot of people who can offer their services on this platform, you do want to take some steps to try to cull down on the quality. And again, there's going to be a wide range, and so you need to know specifically what it is you're looking for, and you can go to Fiverr and find that. But marketing related stuff, like I said, websites, promotional materials, direct mail. I'll give you an example. Even the podcast art. If you're watching this podcast or you've seen the podcast art before, it's an orange background with a light bulb on it and a squiggly line underneath. That podcast art I got from Fiverr, and that cost me about $20. Otherwise, I could work with a freelancer. Most freelancers that are good, are going to charge $15 up. But something like podcast art is a very specific and not a complex piece of art. At least when you're first starting, maybe when if I continue, or I will continue this, maybe along in the future when I want to invest some more money into what this podcast cost me. You can see I'm not investing a whole lot right now. But once I do start to invest more money into this podcast, I may go out and look for a better qualified or better quality graphic designer to revamp my image or change it completely. But to figuring out what cuts it, what will make the cut is really important to making progress in your business. And for a long time, I would get stuck on trying to get things perfect. I probably didn't start a podcast for a long time because I wanted to get it perfect. And once you accept kind of like, a lower quality standard, again, you don't want to sacrifice certain things, but you get what I'm saying. Once you're willing to kind of accept a certain lower quality, it actually just allows you to go and move forward with an idea or something like that. So anyways, that is a kind of a tangent, but my point being is that's what Fiverr really can do for you. You're going to have to maybe sacrifice a little bit on quality at times, but it's going to help you kind of get things going and get things out there. So That said, you can still find people of high quality on Fiverr. And in fact, they recently, here when this is playing right now in May of 2018, they actually just recently offered like a pro line where it's like you can actually find freelancers on there that are a lot higher quality. The price is, of course, a lot higher too. But it's up to you. When you know what it is you're looking for, you can decide what kind of quality level you need and pay at that scale. And that's the best thing about Fiverr is that it works for your business at scale. So wherever it is you're at and the quality level that you can afford, you can find that there. So anyways, moving on from marketing related stuff, which is, like I said, a lot that you may be able to use this for as a small business is going to be marketing related. There's other stuff like personal assistant tasks. So for instance, you may be wanting to have someone compose emails for you from your voice, right? Maybe you don't want to use voice to text or something like that. You just want to dictate an email. You can find personal assistants on there that can do a range of things for you. Do research, maybe do social media postings for you, compose emails, schedule things. You may have a personal assistant, locally. Actually, I just hired a local personal assistant. But if you are not able to afford a personal local assistant or a local personal assistant, then you may be better off going to Fiverr looking for one that can do the specific tasks that you're needing from them right now. So that's up to you to get to figure out what it is you might need from a personal assistant. I'm not speaking right now about what you should or shouldn't have a personal assistant do. That's a different topic, or definitely not what I'm discussing right now. But what I'm trying to get at is almost anything that you're doing, if it doesn't require your physical presence, you can outsource that. And looking at Fiverr is a good way to kind of get an idea of what maybe can you outsource. And you can test a few things. Again, that key word is scale. You can test a few things and scale it up as you find like the right freelancer or someone who can handle the tasks that you're looking to outsource. And then lastly, and again, Fiverr does everything. So this is by no means a list, a conclusive list. This are just the top 3 things that I've either used Fiverr personally for, or I've seen other small businesses using Fiverr for. But one of the last ones would just be technical tasks. So things like maybe managing a spreadsheet. When as real estate developers in the business that I worked for earlier, or before I was self-employed, one thing that we used Fiverr for was having people to look up specific pieces of information about a property on a regular basis. So we knew that it would cost us a set dollar amount to have a property analyzed, or for it wasn't the whole analyzation process for a lead, but there were specific pieces of information that were publicly available and available over the internet. And to save our in-house team time, we would have an agent, a virtual agent, go look up specific pieces of information for, again, a set price. So it just helped us control that cost a whole lot more, to know that, like, okay, it costs us $5 per lead to perform this analyzation on it. And again, like I said, it's scalable. That's what makes it so great. And it's very specific. What you can have someone do is a very specific thing that they can kind of do repetitively. And again, technical tasks are oftentimes what entrepreneurs suffer from the most. It's the thing that sucks the most time out of your life and drains your energy, are technical tasks. And the thing is there's a whole world full of people that you can access on platforms like Fiverr, where you can outsource some of those things. So hopefully that is helpful. This was a shorter episode. And it's really it's a tool specific episode. Yeah, I strongly encourage you just to look at the website, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Again, I'm not getting any kind of kickback for referring you to them. It's just a tool that I have used for years now, for outsourcing very specific niche or niche. I never know which side to go with. I should probably pick a camp on how to pronounce that. But it allows me to outsource those things. Again, it takes stuff off my plate, as well as for my team. It can reduce the time commitment that they have on something because they're able to outsource that to somebody else. So anyways, I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that this was relevant for you. And if you know somebody who's struggling from technical task overload, suggest Fiverr to them. Or again, if you're suffering from it, use it yourself. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. Leave me a review, please. If you found this helpful at all, I'd love to hear from you. Even if it's not a 5-star review, if it's a 4-star or 3-star or whatever, I want to hear what your feedback is, and I want to make it better because I want this to serve you, small business owners, small team managers. Hope you guys are doing well. My Instagram and stuff like that should show up here on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. I am Danny Coleman. Or you can find me on Twitter or Instagram, and then always email me any of your questions and stuff like that. Danny@dannycoleman.me. You guys have a good one. See you later.
Want more? Go to DannyColeman.me to download Danny's free small business hiring guide, which includes tips, templates, and tools, plus a step-by-step process you can use to find and keep high-quality employees for your small team or business.